2 level. And, of course, Impending, top weight and favourite. Let's take a look at him because he looks sensational. He's got the best walk you'll ever see in a mounting yard on him. Have a look how loose and happy he is to be here. He looks in brilliant order.
81 to 60.
270 Impending. Sapito at 350. I'm Excited 5. Most important at 8. Here comes Monsieur Gustav. Here comes Josh Fleming to call the Victory Stakes at Doomben.
Racing Impending's half missed the start. He's come out about 4th or 5th down on the inside. Out wide, Monsieur Gustav was away best of all. He's in front from Jungle Edge. And most important, Impending's a length and a half away 4th. 5th, Sapito. A length and a half again to have a say on the outside of Privlaka. And I'm Excited's about 3 lengths away at the tail. Probably 7 to 8 lengths off Monsieur Gustav. Who roll clear. About 2.5 lengths in front here from most important on the outside of Jungle Edge. A length and a half away to Impending. He's 4th over on the inside of Sapito. 2.5 lengths further back to Privlaka, have a say. And I'm Excited on the outside is last, about 6 or 7 lengths off. Monsieur Gustav is just in front from most important. Peeling out Sapito, going to 3rd, length and a half Impending on the outside of Jungle Edge. Next one on the outside there is have a say. Privlaka shuffle back to last as I'm Excited peel right towards the outside. Heads are turned for home. Monsieur Gustav, most important Sapito. Impending can't get out, and down the outside is I'm Excited. Monsieur Gustav, most important. Impending is out now. Sapito and I'm Excited down the outside. Most important, Impending off the run. Most important, Impending. Impending's the 1-2 classy. Impending ahead to most important 3rd, I'm Excited. Followed by Monsieur Gustav, Privlaka, Sapito, have a say. And Jungle Edge was last. Impending, he's back number 1. Brilliant win. Damien Brown for James Cummings. Back his first run since November. First time we've seen him back in Queensland since his Stradbroke win. He was blocked, he was held up. Could he get out? Yes, he did. He got out in time and he dashed quickly. And he's defeated most important. Gallant in defeat, the second horse. And I'm Excited, did a good job, the filly. Wait for Age, she was back. She had to come towards the outside. Did a pretty good job under the circumstances. Monsieur Gustav has run well, and Privlaka, number 6, has finished 5th. It's 1-3-9-4, 6th and 5th on the Victory Stakes. There's a brilliant 10 tyre Impending. Win 4 at start.
Numerous occasions, he is such a master of the patient ride, and he just ducked back to the inside and was able to take that run. Beats the 3, most important. I did think he looked the fittest I've ever seen him here today first up, and he did.
He's down to 11, and you've also got
7th event at the Gold Coast. The Guineas sees YPO as the favourite on track. 240 out to 245, back to 240. Champagne Cuddles, Brassel Special, 270 out to $3. Away from the above mentioned, just a little nibble absolutely positively at huge odds. What about Tab?
Yeah, Tab is YPO 260 to 2.
Racing now, and down on the inside, Jinx and Drinks, and also away sweetly was Champagne Cuddles, but YPO's going forward, and also Micah. So YPO just in front from Micah's 3rd now, Freddie Foxtrot. Ours to keep going to 4th. Champagne Cuddles back to 5th and 6th. The outside there is Marble. Shogun's Son, Jinx and Drinks absolutely positively magnified. As smart as Attack and Satoga 2.5 lengths away. YPO down the side, led by a couple of lengths here from Micah's, and going to 3rd is Freddie Foxtrot. 2.5 lengths further back to Ours to Keep on the outside of Champagne Cuddles. A length and a half to Marble, Shogun's Son, magnified at Jinx and Drinks absolutely positively. Second last, smart as Attack, and Satoga is going to swing in last. YPO went by the 400 metres marker, led by a length and a half to Freddie Foxtrot. Champagne Cuddles peeling out, going to 3rd. She's up to 2nd now, and Micah's is over on the inside. YPO led by a length and a half. Champagne Cuddles goes into 2nd here at the 200 metre marker. Marble runs home down the outside. YPO is still the leader. Champagne Cuddles on the outside at the 50. YPO, Champagne Cuddles. Champagne Cuddles goes home, and Champagne Cuddles 3/4 to YPO. 2 lengths away 3rd, Marble, followed by Shogun's Son. Next in there was Freddie Foxtrot, magnified, aroused to keep, followed by Satoga, smart as Attack. Next in was Micah's with Jinx and Drinks, and last of all was absolutely positively.
What a little beauty she is. Champagne Cuddles takes out the Gold Coast Guineas, getting over the top of YPO in the last 100 metres. He was gallant. He was gassed to get across. Micah's kicking up to read about in this race, and she is the gallant victor. So just looking for Bjorn Baker now. Actually, maybe he's down the... Where is he?
The time up front, but she breaks the course record first up, 1:7.65. She deserved that that. Look at her form last preparation, placings behind Formality, Trapeze Artist, Elise twice. You know, it's just proper form. You know, I know they're all talking the big E after the win, the big Everest, but yeah, look, let's just see how she gets through the rest of this Queensland campaign. There's not much of her, but what there is of her is all heart. It's just, I've seen this before, you know, that you pull the whip on her and she keeps going. You put the whip away on her and she seems to go better.
Yeah, I've seen it. After the race, you identified that, and we went back and remembered one of her replays and one of her runs, and she went better when they put the whip away. Yeah. So she's only a small. I haven't seen her this prep.
She's a little strong thing, yeah. But what you see is what you get. But it's all heart. What's there anyway.
Coming through, but let's take a look at them. Starting from number 1, It's Somewhat, who is last year's winner. Lovely.
And the egg tart money, $9.50 into 6, just goes back out to $7 late.
Yeah, now late, just like on track there, starting to back coming through was $2.98 to $3.50, and now in the last 2 minutes is back into $3.10. Egg tarts.
Couple third now. Tom Melbourne, fourth the outside, is coming through even wider there as Oregon's Day. Egg Tart is 1 horse away from the rails on the outside there of Satono Razit. Somewhat's out very deep going 4 length and a half to Montoya, the secret man of his word. Next over on the inside, Violate Bedford second last, and 1 Foot in Heaven 2.5 lengths away last of all. So Tom Melbourne on the inside here, being joined in the lead by Consensus. They're in front by 1.5 lengths to Oregon's Day. It's Somewhat's out 3 wide going forward. Jumbo Prince the inside, 1.5 lengths to coming through out 3 wide. Egg Tart between it and Satono Razin over on the end. Consensus down the side led the way from It's Somewhat, and third is Tom Melbourne. 1.5 lengths away, fourth is Oregon's Day. Jumbo Princess fifth, and coming through 6 out 3 wide. 7th the inside there is Egg Tart from Satono Razin out 3 wide. Montoya the secret man of his word out wider there is Bedford. Violate second last over on the inside, and 1 Foot in Heaven is back towards the tail as well at the 450. Consensus just in front from It's Somewhat. Tom Melbourne over on the inside. Oregon's Day coming through is out very wide. Egg Tart, Jumbo Prince and man of his word. Tom Melbourne per medium of the inside goes out after Consensus, and Oregon's Day chiming in down the outside. It's Oregon's Day, Consensus and Tom Melbourne from coming through. Oregon's Day's in front. Tom Melbourne the inside from Egg Tart, but Oregon's Day's in front. The mare draws away. Oregon's Day by 1.5 lengths. Second Tom Melbourne. Photo third between Satono Razin and man of his word. Egg Tart close up from coming through. Jumbo Prince. Consensus It's Somewhat. A long way back there was towards the tail of the field was Violates, also Bedford towards the back with 1 Foot in Heaven and Montoya the secrets.
Jimmy Byrne wins the Hollandale, our feature race here today. Oregon's Day from the Mick Price stable, just chiming in there at the top of the straight. Beats the 3, Tom Melbourne, who sliced through to take that cheap inside run. 7's run third, which is man of his word, who's done an outstanding job. He must have been 3 deep from the 1,000, and he's circled quite wide, and his 4th spot's going to go to the Japanese horse, Satono Razin. All right, 11-3.
As we picked them up as they turned for home run.
Yeah, and look, she'd just had a beautiful run throughout here, Oregon's Day. Jimmy Byrne put her in the 1-1. This race, the speed was muddling throughout the race, and he moved at the right time at the Gold Coast. And like I said, she thoroughly deserved this win. Tom, poor old Tom. This is his 10th second. Geez, Tom, you're letting us down. Surely there's got to be a win in him somewhere there. I thought on the point of the turn he was going to measure up there. Man of his word, he's pulled a few big runs like this in the past. He can do that, especially on his home track here at the Gold Coast. So he was pretty good there. Egg Tart, no luck. This Japanese horse ran a really nice race there. Satono Razin for its 2nd start in Australia there. Coming through, had no luck, wide throughout. Not really too much else to say about the race, but just a thoroughly deserved win by Oregon's Day.
Yeah, not much.
But, I think if we get a wet track in the next month or two, Egg Tart may be back on track there, so I'm keeping a close eye on her.
Okay.
Often on racing.com, especially after the last as well. Wayne, you just said to me then she's a Usain Bolt out there. What are we expecting?
Well, you know, what I was just saying was you said she was on her toes, and I'd much rather her be on her toes and
apply the lids. I'm wondering, Adam, is this money for Desert Lashes coming from the stable?
Yeah, well, we'll ask Shane now. We've just heard...
Racing.
Seemed to be a pretty even sort of a dispatch. Sprightly Lash was showing good speed. I'm Wesley going with it, and the Kiwi Ferrando was burning through. Desert Lashes will be handy. Lope DiCaprio was next, then behind it, First Among Equals. Carla Vassie the inside from Casino Wizard, then Keen Array. Settling second last, One More Daisy, and last of all was Santa Ana Lane. So it's the Kiwi Ferrando leading narrowly from the Tasmanian I'm Wesley. Sprightly Lash couldn't get in, it's posted deep. Lope DiCaprio next, then Desert Lashes, First Among Equals. Carla Vassie the inside, Keen Array starting a run, then Casino Wizard, Santa Ana Lane riding for luck. One More Daisy last, they're in the straight, and Ferrando still led from on the outside. I'm Wesley, Sprightly Lash deeper, even wider Lope DiCaprio, Keen Array hooked out wide, and then further back First Among Equals. It's Sprightly Lash going up with I'm Wesley. They've reached the lead together. Sprightly Lash took the front, Sprightly Lash in front, One More Daisy out wide late, Sprightly Lash in front near the line, Santa Ana Lane flying, Sprightly Lash by the One More Daisy or Santa Ana Lane, which came from the clouds. Then Ferrando, I'm Wesley, First Among Equals, Casino Wizard, Lope DiCaprio, further back Carla Vassie. They beat the last two in comfortably there, Desert Lashes and Keen Array.
She was a good ride because she jumped well. We expected Dwayne would probably want to lead, but he was very happy to get her into the rhythm that Wayne Hawkes talked about, wasn't he? And sit three wide, cover some ground. They looked for a moment that One More Daisy might get her, and then, of course, Santa Ana Lane's come home hard. But she's won well.
It was a really good win. Look, she bounced again, probably a length and a half in front of the field, but not quite enough to cross it.
Intriguing at the moment.
It is, Bruce. There's a lot of fluctuation, a lot happening at the top. Now, Think Blur is favourite, but it got in as low as 4.20, and we talked about Aloysia, got in as low as $5. That's back to $5.50. Savakul got out to $6.50. Now that's back to $5.50, and Suppressor's sort of been around that $5, but it's just gone out to $6. So all of a sudden, the best result for punters will still be Aloysia, just above Suppressor. Of the others, probably the...
There's the light. Racing. And Suppressor began well from the inside. Pure Scott was away okay with Velocita. Samari was deeper out with Bring Me Roses. Savakul was up there as well with Pleasuring, and whipping right around the outside from the wide gate there was Think Blur up towards the lead. Pretty to See was going with it as well, so there's a bit of a charge for the lead on here as they run towards the mile. Bring Me Roses had it. Think Blur went up on its outside. Pretty to See third. Suppressor was fourth inside of Samari. Pure Scott next on the inside from Savakul, and with that runner as well was Pleasuring. Aloysia was next on the outside there. They were the last pair, so it's Think Blur in front. Bring Me Roses going up on the outside, a neck away. Savakul third. Suppressor's had a beautiful run for Coffee. It just needs somewhere to go. Pretty to See was next from Temple of Bell. Further back then to Samari. Around it taking off now Miss Admiration. Then Pure Scott Pleasuring. Coming deep, She's Dashing. Aloysia still well back with Velocita and Earth Angel. They're in the straight now, and the leader was Think Blur, but Suppressor got off its back and comes after it now. The Weir Fillies are first and second at the moment. Down the outside, Temple of Bell, Savakul battling away. Think Blur led. Suppressor the outside. She's Dashing running on late. Suppressor going up now, running on late down the outside. She's Dashing with Miss Admiration, but Suppressor for Harry Coffey, the jockey who overcame adversity, wins his first Group 1 and beats She's Dashing with Miss Admiration close up. So was Pleasuring. Then Aloysia, Savakul. Next was Earth Angel from Think Blur, Pure Scott, Pretty to See, Samari, well back Temple of Bell with Velocita.
So fantastic, incredible story. Absolutely incredible story that Harry Coffey, who's overcome so much with cystic fibrosis, we know his story well. His relationship with Darren Weir is very special, isn't it?
Absolutely. His dad, Austin Coffey, that's where Darren sort of learnt and cut his teeth, if you will. But he's a great bloke, Harry. You never hear him complain. He comes over here and rides regularly, does the hard yards. Sometimes you get taken off a horse, he'll never complain. I asked him a couple of weeks ago, I said, do you think you'll hold the ride? He said, look, if I do, I do. I hope I can. But if I don't, life goes on, we move on. So fantastic for him and for Darren Weir to show the
Over the 2,000 metres, a really good bunch of 3-year-old fillies coming together here.
Yeah, look, and she ran right up to her dominant lead-up performance, this filly Suppressor. She's so good. Look, I'd rather these inside barriers in the longer races, I think, are more important than the shorter races, personally, when they save ground and they ambush. I know it was probably better out wide, probably later in the day, but in these longer races, when you can save ground, it's certainly a big, big advantage, and Suppressor did that. She's a dashing, was very good. The whole preparation without winning, deserves to win a nice one. Look, this Miss Admiration proved that no fluke in that ATC Oaks placing when she was placed at big odds. She was very strong there late, and probably her and Pleasuring were probably the 2.5 mile looking types of horses, but all honours with the winner. She made her own luck and she capitalised on it.
Savakul was a little bit keen and
slide across into some sort of spot early. She's a really good each way chance. Kilista from that inside gate will be on speed. Tulip and Catchy, the 3-year-olds from the Hayes team, they're in it as well. But it's an incredibly open race. You could have 8 picks and still miss the winner.
Well, you've had a good look at them, Adam. Who have you come up with?
Field now for Key Lister, $7 Catchy. Those two are the best back runners. Whispering Brook still has supporters at $8, and Secret Agenda, I thought it might be getting out to double figures, just turned back the other way from $9.50 to $9. Super Cash, not really a lot of support with us here, $9, probably get out to $10. Formalities $11, Dainty Test $12, Shoals $13, and a little bit of late support for Miss Rock, number 4 at $15. Getting some late.
They're racing, and Shoals actually one of the first to leave the gates. True Excelsior away well. It's been a battle, and Miss Rock were both showing good speed with Whispering Brook and going through nearer the inside. Formality with Quilista. Not that far away, Dainty Test from Mystified. Then back on the inside, Miss Gunpowder. Super Cash was midfield from Legless Verve after beginning well. Shoals drifts back. Back with it, Micah Lil. Secret Agenda, last year's winners well back. Catchy was behind it with Pedrina, and Tulip last of all. They're running up towards the turn, and Miss Rock on the inside of It's Been a Battle. They're the joint leaders here. They lead by 2 to Quilista, Formality, True Excelsior, then Whispering Brook. Next the inside, Miss Gunpowder from Dainty Test, then Mystified, Legless Verve. Super Cash riding for luck near the inside. Coming deep was Shoals. They're in the straight, Miss Rock, joined by It's Been a Battle. Formality deeper with True Excelsior. Looking for a run, Quilista, and Shoals is letting go down the outside with a big run. Secret Agenda running on as well, but Shoals out wide. Moved up and ran to the lead here and burst away Shoals. From running to second, Secret Agenda. Micah Lil late, but Shoals wins effortlessly. Wins from Secret Agenda second. I think Micah Lil's run third. What a story it. Close up you had True Excelsior, Whispering Brook, Mystified not far away with Quilista. Then Tulip, Legless Verve. Further back in the field then to Miss Rock, Catchy, well back Pedrina with Dainty Test, Super Cash. It's Been a Battle. Miss Gunpowder and Formality, one of the last to pull up.
Absolutely superb, isn't she? I mean, there's only 3 horses in Australia before today have won 3 Group 1s this year. Trapeze Artist, Happy Clapper and Winks. This one now wins her 3rd Group 1. She had the setback after the surround. I think she's going to Royal Ascot. We'll double check, Adam, we'll find out. This was dominating, wasn't it?
Was it ever? She's only had, it's her 10th start.
And how many she won?
3 Group 1. She's won 7 races.
And been second twice.
Unbelievable, unbelievable. I mean, 1,200 metres first up was going to be harder. I doubted whether she had the turn of foot, but did she? What? She's pulled away and won that by 2 lengths. Secret Agenda, a good run. Micah Lil Bob's up for 3rd, but to be honest, between 3rd and probably 2nd last, there's only a length and a half. Dominant, the winner. Secret Agenda, a really good run too.
Fast Out Rock, can he get a good filly? I mean, you think of Atlantic Jewel and a few of those. Can he get a good filly? This filly's gone to another level. I mean, she won the Maya Classic over 1,600 metres. She wins the surround. And what a training performance, Adam. I mean, this filly was in big trouble after the surround, and Anthony Freeman's done the most brilliant job.
He has done an amazing job, and he joins me now. And I just had Shane Anderson having a chat to me, and apparently she worked the absolute house down this week.
Yeah, her work on Tuesday was as good as before she won the Maya, so I was pretty happy coming here. The gate didn't worry me too much. She likes a bit of clear air, which she got today, and you know, she's an outstanding filly, and you know, 3 Group 1s out of 10 runs, not many do it.
I know, as you said, we know she's outstanding, we know she's got the class, but the way she let down today, that was new level.
Yeah, she was dominant today, and it was a very good race. So she's gone up a couple of levels, and we'll give Royal Ascot a lot of thought.
So it's definitely still on the page. Could she stay for the Goodwood if that's not the case?
No, she wouldn't come back for the Goodwood. She'd probably, if the decision is made, and we'll have to talk to the two Johns, John Massara and Jonathan Munns. And if that is the decision, then
be out of that race.
And here it is.
Wow, look at this, Scholes. And she was absolutely brilliant here. She's off a setback, obviously. She'd had that problem with an injection that backfired or something. But she's back big time here after a session. They're talking Royal Ascot. So let's wait and see what their next decision with is. Her Secret Agenda was good. Quillista didn't have much luck there. What can you say? Well, a total domination. Although that 150 to 1 chance that won earlier had run faster time, a little bit faster time.
She's won 7 from 10 and $2 million.
Incredible.
What a horse.
Incredible filly.
All the first, we talked about the money for Main Stage. It was the best back runner earlier in the day, but there's also been money for Runaway, and now there's money for Leicester. But Leicester at one stage was well under $4. Now it's at $4.60. Outside of that, Tangled held its price nicely, $6. High and Dry's come into $5.50 from $6 earlier today.
Outside gate goes up and they're ready now for the Group 1 UBET South Australian Derby. Set, racing. And Leicester in the middle of the line hopped away okay. 1-1-2 and Silent Command were both away well near the inside. Tropical Lightning going forward, so was Runaway deeper. Leicester's right up there with Resilient. Savahit the inside, then into Rio. Main Stage was next. Behind it, Nothing Like a High. Then Tangled, which is deep, heading out of the straight, even wider on the track, High and Dry. Box on Colin the inside to Savahit. Into Rio was next. Main Stage on the inside for Oliver. Tangled's never got in. It's still 3 deep. Around Nothing Like a High. Getting onto the back of Tangled there was High and Dry. Box on Collins was next as they travel up the side. Then High Sheriff, Civil Disobedience. And back at the tail was Money Maher. They're running towards the 1,000. It's Runaway leading. Tropical Lightning was in second spot. 1-1-2 third. Every chance for Leicester, the favourite, in fourth spot. Next on the inside, Silent Command. Into Rio's going around them now. Tangled latching onto its back from Resilient. Further back to Nothing Like a High. Back on the inside then was Savahit as they're travelling up to the home turn now in the UBET South Australian Derby. About to be hooked out wide then was High and Dry. Main Stage is off the inside but still in traffic. Then Box on Collins, High Sheriff, and the last pair, Civil Disobedience and Money Maher. Runaway first into the home straight. Going for the run on the inside was 1-1-2. Tropical Lightning next. Leicester was deeper out on the track with Into Rio, and Resilient was putting in a big run as well. The favourite Leicester going up to Runaway. On the inside, 1-1-2. Then Resilient. Leicester takes the lead in the Derby though, and Weary wins a third straight. Leicester, he emulates the great Bart Cummings. 3 South Australian Derbies, Resilient second. Third home was Runaway. Close up, Tropical Lightning ran out of his skin. 1-1-2. Then Main Stage into Rio. Money Maher made late ground with High Sheriff, High and Dry deeper. Then Box on Collins, Savahit, Civil Disobedience. Well back was Tangled. Back with it was Nothing Like a High. Silent Command, and Weary does what Bart did. 3 consecutive South Australian Derbies.
What a season for Darren Weir. That is his 9th Group 1 for 2017-18. His 30th in his career. And a 5th Group 1 for the season for Damian Lane. Leicester absolutely destroying his rivals, James, defeating Resilient, Runaway and Tropical Lightning.
He's made the race his own, Darren Weir. 8th run in his preparation. His last 3 trips to Adelaide, phenomenal effort.
All right, let's go to Donald and we'll come...
Leicester, so he's still in the market for the Brisbane Derby as well. Queensland Derby, I should say. This typical Damian Lane, just a beautiful ride. Just lobs him in the 1-1. He was purchased for about $10,000 as he's by wanted. You wouldn't think he'd be a Derby horse. But Darren Weir again, he's perfectly ridden, well set up. Yeah, he could easily go to the Derby and run well. Can't say much really about the other. Resilient, that St Ledger form stood up there with second and third there, Resilient and Gay's horse Runaway. But a fairly dominant win from a very strong horse.
Doomben 10,000 over 1,200 metres, Group 1 weight for age. And leading the field around is the Everest winner, Red Zell, number 1, Kerrin McAvoy for Peter and Paul Snowden.
Well, there's not much I can say. He's the best sprinter in the land. He looks in great order. He's last year's winner.
Stradbroke winner from last year. So we've got last year's 10,000 in Stradbroke winners lining up in saddle cloths 1 and 2 here, impending for James Cummings and Damien Brown.
Yeah, he's such an exciting colt, isn't he? And he was...
What do you think?
Well, I think he's closer now. He has to be, doesn't he, with throwing him out there as well and Hootson going back. And, you know, he's not going to want to be giving Red Zell a big start in this race. So I definitely...
His Sydney Carnival form was really strong, and yeah, we got a difficult marble and a difficult barrier to contend with, but I'm hoping that the tempo's really strong and the track's dried out.
Big one of the afternoon, the Doomben 10,000, and we're only about 90 seconds away. Betting stoush between Red Zell and In Her Time could well go out onto the track, and In Her Time's the one that you've identified, Brass.
Yeah, we've got her on top.
Here we go, racing now. Monsieur Gustave, most important. Burning Passion, the first 3. And there's Red Zell going forward quickly. English is handy. In Her Time, likewise. There remains out very wide. Passing Impending, and then Spieth and the Mission on the outside. 3 lengths away. Second last is Care to Think. And Hootson over on the inside is last of all. Red Zell on the outside, just in front from Monsieur Gustave. Most important third. Fourth is English, out 3 wide. Going forward, Le Remain. In Her Time, covering ground as well. On the outside of Burning Passion, a length and a half Impending, followed by Spieth and the Mission. Hootson and Care to Think on the outside, last of all. Red Zell, 1 horse away from the rails, just in front from Le Remain, who's worked. Monsieur Gustave, most important. English, Burning Passion, In Her Time, Impending, and Hootson will swing in last at the 325. Red Zell just in front. Le Remain on the outside. In Her Time, most important. Monsieur Gustave, English, Impending down the outside. Red Zell just in front. Le Remain, English, Red Zell, Le Remain, English the inside, English, Le Remain, late Impending, English, Le Remain, Impending, English has won the 10,000 from Impending, photo third, Le Remain, Red Zell from Care to Think, most important, Burning Passion, In Her Time, Speak the Mission, followed by Hootson and Monsieur Gustave last of all.
English, number 13, Tim Clark, and Gay Waterhouse and Adrian Bott, a nice little $500 fine for Top Cat. He went up just before the post, beats Impending, Le Remain, Red Zell's run 4th. And then a gap to the others. Spieth, Burning Passion, Care to Think, most in
barriers and sort of her manners a little bit. But big thanks to the boys up with her today. They kept her nice and calm, and she was able to get out and travel really well in behind them, and just needed a little bit of luck on the turn and was able to get onto Red Zell's back, and she was really strong late. And she shows you that when she gets...
A hugely talented mare throughout her career, and look, for the last 18 months we've been able to make genuine excuses for her every time she's went around. So today everything fell into place for us. Informed jockey made all the right decisions today, and she came up here and presented in great order. So it was good to see it all fall into place for her once again.
So you've always felt she's going as good as ever?
Yeah, look, we came up here very confident that she was feeling the ground today. Has probably been the key as well.
Over $3 million in prize money. What a great mare, and I think she was probably there at the start of your partnership with Gay.
Yeah, look, early on in my career at Gay's, I guess she was performing.
Ready to strike there on straightening, so it was an outstanding win, and as I said, I don't think anybody would begrudge her.
Yeah, geez, Impending was a lovely trial, wasn't it? He's just ticking along beautifully for another Stradbroke, isn't he? And look, I suppose the story of the race has to be In Her Time. She looked like she was going to cruise up there on the point of the turn, and obviously she wasn't herself. But look, 433 days since the last win, so it's a pretty good achievement from English. And look, there was a bit of a tip around town for her coming into this meeting, and it was proven correct. Le Remain wide, no cover the whole way, but that seemed to be a pattern of the day. A lot of horses travelled with no cover there on the day and performed well. Look, considering this is a weight for age race, I thought Care to Think did enough first up, although reading the steward's report, he made an abnormal noise pulling up, so that's...
He has to have a scope.
Does he? Yeah, that's worrying when you hear that.
I thought Spieth, I know he He's a horse that does generally hit the line like that, but he hit the line nicely.
Right.
Stepping up to the 1350 will definitely suit him.
Yeah, so, look, Red Zell beaten but not disgraced. He'll go out and come back a sharp horse like he always will. So he wasn't beaten far, but it was just a funny day to sort of isolate the form, really.
Let's hear from Adrian, and her campaign is obviously up in the air.
Exactly.
Because she was going for the Stradbroke and then a break.
And I think the plan might have been with her, they'll correct me if I'm wrong, would be to go to stud this season as well. So maybe, is she still in the Everest picture?
Yeah, Adrian Bott said in that post-race interview he wants to keep going for the Everest.
OK, well, maybe she gets in foal and goes first up into the Everest in foal.
Yeah, here's the market, Red Zell. Just speaking to Kerrin McAvoy, Bernadette, he believes that Red Zell now needs a track with juice in it, genuine juice, a rain-affected track. He thought...
Yeah, and look, this Everest picture again, we're talking about this a long way out, but it is a big talking point. Last week we were thinking there's two big hopes in this Everest, Red Zell and In Her Time. They've been put away, those slots. Now I'm thinking... Kementari is a big player. I'm thinking, wait till next week. If this Vega Magic comes out and blows them away next week, he'll be favourite. He will be favourite. He won't be $15, he'll be favourite. Yeah. Kementari's got the trapeze artist form, so there's...
On that effort, as does Vega Magic. Maps well, but probably needs a new career peak with that weight, so I think he'll run well, but couldn't back him.
Super Cash, look, she's a quality mare.
The Voodoo Lad, I think, will actually be in a really good spot. I think he's at the best each way bet in the race, and Miss Rock is another one that maps perfectly. So on the map, I think the 6 and the 18, but on class, I'm with Vega Magic.
Well, Adam, you were bullish about Voodoo Lad, but which one?
I'm going to, from the yard, there's 3 gallopers by Lope de Vega. I think Santa Ana Lane is the best looker here, just in front of her at Voodoo Lad. Certainly presented well, second up, and I think second up in Adelaide would take a lot of improvement. So Santa Ana Lane is...
Chasing a roughie, the Darren Weir trained Handsome Thief, 23 into 15.
And on track, Vega Magic, 390 into 380, back to 390. Vidora out a point and a half, still to $8. Support for Viridine, the 3-year-old, 11 out to 12 in 3 points to $9. Thronum Titans from 13 into 11 late. Secret Agenda still 17 into 12, now back to $13. Handsome Thief has been spec 16 in from 26 now. Defeated I Am Invincible. They're getting set for the $1 million. Darley Goodwood with Terry McAuliffe.
They're racing in the Darley Goodwood, and out wide Stellar Collision began well with Secret Agenda. Vega Magic was away cleanly, going quickly at stablemate Thronum in search of the front. Flamberge was handy with the Kiwi Ferrando. Super Cash and Steel Frost won't be far away with Miss Rock. Vega Magic going forward deeper now to be 4th. Overshare was even wider. Further back then to Voodoo Lad. It was on the inside there of Micah Lil. I'll have a bet. Stellar Collision drifts back now. Secret Agenda was back there with it. Then Vidora. She's well back with Nipperkin. Viridine, Santa Ana Lane. Then Handsome Thief, Lope DiCaprio, and Exalted Adam was last up to the turn in the Darley Goodwood. And on the inside, Thronum, joined by Flamberge and deeper Vega Magic. Right behind them, Miss Rock with Super Cash. Ferrando back on the inside. Then Overshare, and right to the outside goes Secret Agenda with Nipperkin. Flamberge led. Vega Magic after it. Super Cash squeezing between them. Then Overshare. I'll have a bit running on with Still Frost. Vega Magic, Flamberge. Miss Rock was still there. Super Cash trying to squeeze through. Flamberge led. Here's Santa Ana Lane. Santa Ana Lane through on the inside. Santa Ana Lane wins the Darley Goodwood. Beats Miss Rock second for this second consecutive year. I'll have a bit was third. Super Cash, not sure how much luck it had. Flamberge ran a beauty from Still Frost, Exalted Adam. Then Handsome Thief, Vega Magic. Next was Voodoo Lad. Behind it then was Overshare with Micah Lil, Nipperkin. Vidora didn't come into it. Secret Agenda. Well back Lope DiCaprio with Stellar Collision and Viridine.
Gee, what a result. Ben Mellon, he's had a bit of luck in this race in the past. He sure has. And Santa Ana Lane, the pick from the yard for Adam McGrath, has come with a steaming run to win the Goodwood, hasn't he?
Unbelievable last sort of 150 metres sprint. We know he's got it, but with 58.5, went up 2.5 kilos from what he carried last year. For him to still accelerate that quickly through that last 150 metres, he's got a ripping turn of foot, and we saw it there.
I think we'll go to Wodonga and come back with all the interviews in just a moment. So the Freedman camp roll on here. They won with Shoals and they've now won with Santa Ana Lane, and Ben Mellon wins a third Goodwood here. Miss Rock, fabulous run again in this race, and I'll have a bit Scott home for third, so all that good.
He put the writing on the wall the other day. He ran really well. Obviously got held up till late, but if he was going to come here and produce that turn of foot like he did the other day, he was always going to be competitive. Had a bit of weight today, and they just burned him out from the barriers. He was out the back and didn't go early, so I just had to bide my time, let him travel and be happy. And I was going to come wide, but it was going to be a bit of a hassle to do so, and I would have been covering a lot of ground. So it opened up down the inside, and I was more than happy to switch back there, and he let go of that good turn of foot, and he was too good.
Ben Brad told us a moment ago that it was so
good job to bring him back to where he is now, and his work had been good leading into it, and his run was good the other day. So all he had to do was bring that here and a bit of luck, and he was too good.
And just finally, this has been a great race for you. I mean, this is your third Goodwood.
Yeah, third Goodwood, and always happy to...
Lane winning there. Now, obviously, all eyes on Vega Magic returning. A possible Everest horse, having run second in the race last year. Now, Santa Ana Lane beats Miss Rock, and I'll have a bit. Now, look where Santa Ana Lane is, Duff.
Yeah, he had to weave and pick his way through the field. What a good season Anthony Friedman's having with his horses. She had Shoals there last week winning the big Group 1, and this horse is... he's been a horse that's always showed bits and pieces of brilliance, but you just got to time his preparation to the minute, and they certainly got that right yesterday. Miss Rock was much better ridden back off the speed a little bit there yesterday. Well, I'll have a bet. Won at 200 to 1 there last start. Proved that was no fluke with another big performance. I think we have to be forgiving with Vega Magic. Where he sits in the Everest pitch is a little bit of a question mark now. Whether you roll straight in and give him a slot straight away is a big question mark. But someone may be tempted because we know how good he is. So, yeah, he's the question mark there.
Well, there's no need to rush in right now.
I wouldn't think so, but he's still there.
Okay, so what price is Santa Ana Lane now in the Stradbroke?
Yeah, he'd be out in the market 15, 20 to 1 or something.
Just on the next page?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Impending, I don't know whether Impending is...
Bulls is coming. There's Santa Ana Lane there at $15. Landed Plenty won yesterday as well. So, look, the Stradbroke's a race, a handicap where you're going to get the weights and sort of analysing the barrier draw.
$30. $2.95. You don't want that again if you took the $2.90 at Ascot, Quinny. 8th event from Doomben is the Doomben Cup, the Group 1 over the 2,000 metres for $650,000. And you're with Satono Racing, number 7, Mr. Brassel.
One of 2 Japanese horses going around, and I've bunged them both in our top 4, Marto. Our numbers are 7, 12, 2 and 3. So Satono Racing off an unlucky sort of run last time in the Hollandale. Ran 4th to Oregon's Day. Didn't get much of a crack. Oregon's is our second selection, flying at the moment. Top class mare. 2 and 3 coming through, and Ambitious, the other Japanese horse.
Well, Ambitious has been...
Safe and racing. Oregon's Day, barrier 2. Man of his word down on the inside. Both began well. Rolling forward, Tradesman. Handy as Tom Melbourne out wide, going right up there. Abby Marie, Violate coming through out very deep. Drifting back, Satono Razza with Egg Tart. Ambitious second last, and last of all is Life Less Ordinary. So Tom Melbourne is about 4 horses away from the fence, but he's just in front. Violate is out even wider there. Tradesman third. 4th is Man of his word, and 5th is Oregon's Day. A length and a half, Egg Tart coming through. A length and 3/4 further back to Satono Razza. Ambitious third last, second last outside is Abby Marie, and Life Less Ordinary is Stone Motherless last over on the inside. It must be 10 to 12 lengths off Tom Melbourne. Tom Melbourne in front, 3 lengths clear from Violate. A length and a half away, third Tradesman. 4th is Oregon's Day. 5th the inside is Man of his word. A length and a half to coming through, Egg Tart followed by Satono Razza. Ambitious over on the inside, third last. Abby Marie second last. Life Less Ordinary still last of all. So Tom Melbourne just in front now from Violate on the outside. Going to third as Tradesman. 4th the inside is Man of his word. Oregon's Day taking off. Coming through is going to have to come very wide. Satono Razza's even wider there. Egg Tart is back nearer the inside from Ambitious, Life Less Ordinary, and Abby Marie at the 350. Tom Melbourne. Here's Egg Tart on the outside. Man of his word, the rails coming through, coming down the outside. Egg Tart's in front, coming through. Abby Marie Marie, Ambitious and Satana Razin down the outside. Egg Tart coming through from Abby Marie. Egg Tart and coming through, going to Egg Tart. Coming through is in front from Egg Tart, and coming through defeats Egg Tart. Ambitious third. Fourth, Abby Marie from Oregon's Day. Life Less Ordinary. Next time, Satana Razin. Tom Melbourne Weekend, followed there by Tradesman, Man of His Word, and Violate was last of all.
He's now a Hall of Fame trainer, and he adds another Group 1 to his resume. Chris Waller wins the Doomben Cup with Coming Through. Michael Walker, he quinellas it. Egg Tart, an Oaks winner on this track, has run second, and the Japanese Ambitious has run third. Waller in the Doomben Cup.
Yeah, it was a lovely ride.
It's Egg Tart and Ambitious in third spot.
Yeah, look, we know he's got all the quality in the world. He's been a bit of a thinker on occasions coming through, and I think Michael Walker says that. You know, he's not the easiest horse to ride because he switches off and switches on, and you've got to keep him thinking about things during the run, which is hard. And we thought once they gelded him, he was going to come round and that was going to turn him around, but it really hasn't. But he gets a big Group 1 yesterday, and as I said, he drew the outside barrier. He found one off the fence. It was an excellent ride. Egg Tart was great. I thought she was going to win when she burst through there. She's probably just looking for a wet track, and if we do probably get a drop of rain before the O'Shea, she's the horse to beat. What else do you want to say there, Bernie? Ambitious didn't have a lot of room there in the straight.
Yeah, I think Craig Williams was sort of the opinion, even inside the furlong, he looks like he sort of isn't able to fully ride him out. But probably, as you say, Egg Tart just looking for that wet track. But I thought it was interesting that Michael Walker said at no stage throughout any part of that race did he think he was really going to win.
Yeah, most of the other horses in the race travelled better than him, but he was aggressive on him. He was really, making him do things, and he did react the last little bit there. Abby Marie ran well. She goes to the Broodmare sale there. Oregon's Day, just the 2,000 metres, probably just saw her out a little bit there. The horse we all like, Satano Raisin there, I thought he'd do a little bit more. He may be another candidate for a wet track as well.
I think he might have reacted poorly to being pushed wide right on the point of that turn as well.
Our long national nightmare with Tom continues.
Well, we've spent 2 years trying to settle him, and they want to go out and ride him like that.
Excuse me.
Maybe he's
Excuse me.
more of a miler.
I wished I had the tape of the pre-race. You agreed, wanted Corey Brown to go out with Vo Road tactics and lead by 20.
Well, it certainly didn't work, did it?
No. Bad barriers.
Bad barriers.
Bad barrier draw. Group 2, Boomsar in the yard here for Munson McGilvray.
Yeah, he appeared to have his chance last start at the Gold Coast, but stuck on well. A little query first try at this distance.
I really like this horse. He's a strong, sensible customer.
Made up a stack of ground over the concluding stages. It was a beaut run. So, if he can stay in touch this time, I think it'd be very hard to beat, despite the widest draw. Zusain, a horse that's just doing everything right.
1950. Favourite Graph, Sizzling Ace, well supported. Red lights on. Here we go, set for the sires. Light turned off again. Racing, and Plumaro's come out 3 lengths behind the field. Out wide, Zusain was away best of all. Shemert's up the second. Boomsara goes up to make a line of 3. Fourth is Dynamited out 3 wide, followed there by Sizzling Ace and Sizzling Bell. Caesar's out 3 wide from Mischievous Maryland. Third last, Lean Mean Machine. 1 horse away from the rails. Second last, Blue Booker by Lean Mean Machine and Caesar. Blue Booker second last, and Plumaro's about 3 lengths away. Just in front, Zusain from Boomsara. Shemert third, Sizzling Bell 3 wide fourth, and Sizzling Ace 50 inside. Next there is Dynamited, followed by Caesar. Lean Mean Machine, Blue Book and Plumar at the 350 on the inside. Zusain joined now, headed on the outside by Boomsara. Shemert third, back towards the inside. Sizzling Ace and Lean Mean Machine from Sizzling Bell. It's Zusain, Boomsara. The inside is Lean Mean Machine. Lean Mean Machine, Zusain, Boomsara, Sizzling Ace. Lean Mean Machine, though, has gone through, taken the lead, and Lean Mean Machine's won it by 3/4 to maybe Zusain second, but it's a close photo between it, also Sizzling Ace and Boomsara, followed by Plumaro, Dynamited, Shemert, Caesar, and then Sizzling Bell and Blue Book last of all.
Lean Mean Machine, number 7. Chris Waller and Corey Brown get the money. It's going to be very tight for the Miners. They're lining up here. Now, let's see if we can line these up. Zusane in the centre, maybe. We just can't see the horse on the inside
of the JJ. He's picked up them all at various stages. What have we got in Lean Mean Machine?
We've got a very good horse. What happened here? Why did this horse go around, $13 and $14? This is a good horse. He had legitimate excuses at the Gold Coast where he got too far back, just missed the speed of the race a little bit there. He was the first horse off the bit in the pain barrier here chasing. I love the way he went through the line. He's a beautiful horse. He should eat up a mile, and there's a lot to like about him. He's the horse they've all got to beat, I'd suggest, in the upcoming JJ Atkins. In saying that, Zusane was left, he led. That's not his go. He was considering in his previous start, he come from well back in the field. So
it's happened twice now to Zusane.
Yeah,
it happened in Sydney as well.
He sees a bit of daylight and wants to be a little bit aggressive. Yet if you tuck him away in a fast race, he's fine. The story of the race is Graft, who was very heavily backed in this race. His preparations has to be finished now because he doesn't have the lead up going to the mile. So that's very unfortunate for his connections because, well, I suppose he'll keep for an early race in the spring. But I think the two...
She looks so little in the yard compared to these big...
2-3, I want to be with Impending. I've saved on Endless Drama at the odds, and Le Romain and Care to Think next best.
So 1, 8, 2 and 3 from Duff, Bernie.
1, 2, 9, 4. I love Impending. Le Romain's the horse to beat. English obviously gets the same run as last time, and most important, the best of the locals.
1, 2, 9 and 4. They are moving out for the Group 1 Kingsford Smith Cup.
And they're out on the track there and arriving at the start point. We're going to try and squeeze in Sandown as we take you to Matt.
So Vecchio.
50 red light. Favourite Impending. Gates open racing. Care to Think out wide began well. Monsieur Gustave, most important. Le Romain going forward. English kicking up. And Endless Drama's right up there as well. Care to Think drifting right back to last of all now. So Le Romain out wide in front from Monsieur Gustave, most important. 4th is English. 5th is Endless Drama. 6th is now Impending. 7th out 3 wide is the filly Champagne Cuddles. And second last is Volpe Veloce. Last of all is Care to Think, about 6 or 7 lengths off Le Romain, who's in the van by 3/4 of a length here from Monsieur Gustave. 3rd is most important. 4th the inside is English, and 5th out 3 wide creeping forward now is Endless Drama. 1.5 lengths to Champagne Cuddles out 3 wide. Might have some cover with Impending between it and Volpe Veloce over on the inside, and Care to Think is still last of all. Really tight and compact here. There's only 5 lengths first to last. Monsieur Gustave on the outside in company here with also Le Romain. Out 3 wide, looming up now is Endless Drama. Champagne Cuddles 1 from the outside. English is back nearer the inside, and Care to Think right down the outside from Impending. Le Romain's in front. Champagne Cuddles on the outside from Impending and Care to Think. Le Romain's in front. Impending coming through late. Champagne Cuddles on the outside. Le Romain, Impending. They go to the line. It's a photo. Le Romain, Impending. 3rd Champagne Cuddles, I reckon, just ahead of English, followed by Volpe Veloce. Care to Think next in there was Endless Drama, followed by Monsieur Gustave, and most important, last of all, has he got up in time? Impending. He's done.
A finish. What a finish to the Kingsford Smith Cup, and here is Impending grabbing Le Romain, and it's Impending. He's won a Stradbroke, and he's won another Group 1 in Queensland, the Kingsford Smith Cup. He noses out Le Romain, the 3-year-old filly. What a Stradbroke trial from Champagne Cuddles. Then English, Endless Drama was behind those. Impending, does he go out on a high? Is that it for him? Is he off the stud?
Oh, you would usually like. I'd probably think so now. He probably outweighted in the Stradbroke, but class, and not only class from the horse. That was a class ride. He sort of missed the
Godolphin colours.
Yeah, especially the Godolphin colours, Sammy. They've been really good to me over the last few years, and now James is there and giving me this opportunity. It's just a great honour for me.
This horse is so honest.
He is. Look, he's a real trooper. Yeah, things didn't really go they're well frustrating up today, and it was just as class got him home.
And you say that, you got shuffled back that little bit, but when he needs to get out of trouble, he can. He picks himself up.
Yeah, good horses are able to do that, Sammy, as you know, and he's certainly a pretty handy horse.
Well done on a great win.
Thanks, Sammy. I just want to say cheerio to the missus and kids.
Congratulations, dual Group 1 winner now in Queensland.
Oh, look, he's just he's a beautiful horse. He's the sort of horse that any trainer would really dream to have. Every time we've stepped him out in the last 6 starts now, he just can't help but run well. And he's savage to the line there, full of speed, just trucking all the way. And, the track just getting that little bit softer wasn't ideal for us. Even his last, preparation going into last start didn't go ideal. And, a much better build-up this time. And look, he just hit the line just beautifully. And, an enormous result, not only for the stable, but for the Darley studs as well.
Is that it? Is he off to stud now, or would you contemplate a Stradbroke?
Oh, for sure. We'll contemplate the Stradbroke. I mean, we had him primed for today. Today was really the perfect target race for a proper weight for age sprinter like him. He's got it in him to keep improving as his preparation gets deeper. We've seen it before, and we'll give the Stradbroke plenty of thought. But
James Cummings now the head of Godolphin, and he gets a Group 1 with that horse. Le Romain Gallant, Champagne Cuddles off to the Stradbroke now. Damien Brown had won Group 1s for Sheikh Mohammed in the old Darley colours. That was his first in the blue colours. He's been a good jockey to that team.
Yeah, no, he gave him a really good ride here as well. I think that was the point coming into the race. They just said, well, most people said, I like him pending, but geez, he needs a good ride. That's a bit of a sticky draw he's got. He just was negative, and he snagged straight behind him there. He wanted to grab the bit, but he gave him beautiful cover. I know they slowed up, and that wasn't ideal, but geez, when he burst between runners here, this was a ride and a half by Brown, and he'll probably go to the Stradbroke now. Just reading the press this morning, he's going to obviously have to pay the penalty. A bit more weight. What did he have in the Stradbroke last year? About 53.
Yeah, I think the feeling was he might have got about 56, but now maybe 57 and a half, or maybe a touch more, Bernie.
Might make it tough. That's if he goes up 5 kilos on last year, that'll make it tough.
Especially when that little filly's going to carry about 50.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll have a massive turnaround at the weights.
So her rating might go up a bit now. She might get about 52 or something.
I think they want a little penalty because that guarantees her getting into the field. I think at 49 and a half she was going to be
on the borderline. Yeah, just on Le Romain there, he sort of, they've lost their leader there. I think most thought the most important was going to lead there, and he didn't. And when he was left in front, he just steadied up and he was looking for a leader, Glenn. And I reckon when he pulled the whip through to the other hand and he ducked out there, it may just have changing stride cost him the race, I would have thought. So not much in that. He'll go to the Stradbroke as well in fine form. And you talked about the filly there, Champagne Cuddle. She was terrific. Can't say really a lot about the others. I think, obviously, Care to Think. I think he's just crying out for a handicap. He's not a weight for age horse.
Yeah, I think too.
Beaten Brigade had to say.
Corey Brown, Champagne Cuddles.
She actually ran really well, Chantel. She to Loon to win. I thought she was the winner. I reckon she just peaked on a run with about a furlong to go. Got a little bit weary through the line, but I reckon she's going to take big improvement out of that run. So I just reckon her run come to an end with about 175 to go, but she's a tough little thing.
Ty England, Endless Drama.
He went good. Drew 3, sat 3 deep. They went very slow though. He was able to roll into it when he wanted to, but tempo beat him.
Jake Bayless, Volpe Veloce.
Yeah, she just sort of tried to jump the gun a bit and she sort of hit ahead. I stride before the gates open, so she just sort of missed half a length, so had to go back to the inside.
OK, let's have a look at the Stradbroke market now. Impending is the favourite at $5 with Le Romain and Champagne Cuddle. So 1, 2, 3 in the Kingsford Smith, or 1, 2, 3 in the Stradbroke. Still waiting a decision on Osborne Bulls. English in her time. We'll get an update on her during the week.
Yep.
Care to Think and Dannon Liberty, the import. Not sure where he is.
Care to Think has to be the value runner in that market for sure at $13 because they went pretty steady yesterday. It was never going to suit him. He might not be weight for age either, but it was never going to suit him given how slow they went. You only had to look how hard Impending was pulling and a couple of others in the same boat. And they didn't take off either from the 600 like they normally would here. It was right up until they straightened.
Agreed. Total for
fourth there, Sparky Lad, former Japanese horse, second Australian start. It was pretty good.
Yeah, those Japanese horses, boy, they are a bit of a discovery, aren't they? and a terrific win. He's snuck up along.
The second of the Group 1s from Doomben, the Queensland Oaks, and it's a really open race as far as the on-track is concerned. In terms of movers anyway, Young Star 350 out to 370, Aloysia solid around the 460 quote. Sabakul, the one that Brass is tipping, $6.50 into $6, and she's dashing $8.50 into $8. Just a nibble for Coral Coast, Tab.
Right to go, racing now, and Young Star and Barrier 4 away okay. Shez dashing, jumped a little bit to the left there and probably brushed early with the favourite Young Star. Miss Shanty down on the inside, pinged away. Says in front from Joyfully Ours Impulsive. Another $1 fourth. Fifth out very wide there is Highway. Tinkamosa handy as well. Shez dashing Aloysia. Young Star's about 8th or 9th, and Sabakul is over on the inside. Out 3 wide there is Terra Sancta, and Shez reliable between horse. Highway in front here from going up into 2nd, Tinkamosa. Joyfully Ours is 3rd, Impulsive 4th, and Aloysia, she's 5th out 3 wide striding forward. Miss Shanty the 6th over on the inside. Out very wide, Terra Sancta taking off and going forward as well. Young Stars out 3 wide towards the 1,300 metres mark with another $1 between it. And next over on the inside there is Miss Shanty. 3 lengths further, a length and a half to Aloysia going into 2nd. Back to 3rd, the inside is Highway. Young Star going to 4th out 3 wide. 5th is Terra Sancta. 6th is Joyfully Ours taking off as another $1. Protest also going forward. Shez reliable and Coral Coast taking off as well. Just in behind those, Shez dashing shuffle back. Also taking off there is out very wide is Miss Shanty from Play That Song. Shez dashing now 3rd last. 2nd last down the side, Sabakul, and Delaney's Desire is last. So it's Aloysia just in front. From on the outside, another $1 going into 2nd. Coral Coast is up to 3rd. Protest back to 4th and 5th. Miss Shanty on the outside from Tinkamosa, and Young Star has still got 4 to 5 lengths to make up, and another $1. Look with a head full of steam has gone to the front. Young Star down the outside. Eloisa whacks away, followed there by Coral Coast, and she's dashing. Another $1 is in front, but here is Young Star on the outside. Another $1. Young Star, they go to line. She's dashing late as well. It's a photo. Another $1. She's dashing Young Star. 3 of them hit the line in the Oaks. I'm not sure 4th up there, Coral Coast, and also as they went across the line there was Terra Sancta from Miss Shanty, followed by Aloysia, and then we had back behind those horses, Shez Reliable, Tinkamosa, Play That Song, Highway, Delaney's Desire, Protest, Joyfully Ours Impulsive, and Sabakul was last.
An incredible win by Young Star, who has come again to beat the stablemate another $1. It is the Doomben Roses form that has reigned supreme, and on the shutter cam it will be Young Star. Now hold on a minute, can we go back before the turn, because I am sure it was going to be dropping out. It looked like there was nothing there. We'd have to go getting a second wind and heading out after the stablemate. Chris Waller has won another Oaks. It's only been run at Doomben 3 times in its history, this race, and Chris Waller has won it 3 times. Winks, Egg Tart, and now Young Star. Duff, at this point, where's Young Star going?
No, she's going nowhere. That's an incredible win. It was everyone made moves, and then they stacked them up, and they started pulling. There was so many things to look at during that race, but you could have got 100 to 1 here. There's no doubt about that. And where the stablemate's off and gone, another $1, and here she comes again, comes around them, and has the hide to finish off the way she did.
Well, let's hear from
Tough Young Star. The race didn't pan out how you wanted it to.
No, Sammy, it was fine early, and then I made a decision about here to get on the back of Aloysia and sit sort of 3 deep with some cover. And then Jimmy came around me on the Kiwi filly, and they both sort of scooted off and went forward and then left me without any cover. And the tempo wasn't that strong along the back, so I ended up sort of striding forward, but then they were at me from the 700. The Willow was off and Glim was off, and then I was sort of buttled up and getting bumped and sort of becoming unbalanced. But once I sort of hit the straight ground at the 300, she took off, and then I was the winner. And then late underriding. She should have ducked out a little bit right on the post, and I was worried that I might have got nutted, but full credit to the filly.
One thing you know...
Won all three.
Well, there you go, and it was in a bit of doubt today, but well done to everybody. No one panicked, and we've got through safely after obviously unforeseen circumstances earlier in the day. So well done to the club and the track people that work tirelessly, to work very quickly to get the rail out, because otherwise we wouldn't have. The horse is a very talented horse, and she did it tough today. She was in a good spot. She lost that spot and had to get going a bit earlier, looked a bit flat at the 300 and then fought back strongly the last 50 metres.
I think a lot of people would have sold out before the home turn when they...
changed.
Now, can you pick the winner? If you haven't watched this race before, can you pick the winner? Red cap, light blue and dark blue checks, Young Star.
Wow. She was dead set beaten on the point before the turn. At the 700 you would have thought she was beaten, and another dollar looked all over a winner at the same time. She darted and she was under, you know, it was more or less had plenty to offer, which she did, but that other filly just eats the line, doesn't she? She's dashing is an absolute ripper. She has been so good all preparation without winning one of these big ones, so she seemed to, after having a good spot, she seemed to got shuffled back there, and you could make a little case to say that you know, she should have nearly won that race as well. Coral Coast had to make a long sustained run, but she was good. Many other things to say about the race. I thought I liked Savakul there. She had the old cardiac arrhythmia. I wonder I don't catch that. I bet so many horses that do. So it's another excuse there for Savakul.
We'll get the vet to you on a regular basis from now on. Can we go back to the side now, Duff? There she is 3 wide. Outside her stablemate, another dollar, Young Star.
Yeah, and another dollar there you can see is just trucking. She's absolutely travelling, and then all of a sudden Young Star sort of makes a move, still with a little bit to offer, and then all of a sudden they start to quicken up, and you would have thought, oh, they all get around her. It's a little bit further on, as you'll see, and you swear blind that she's got none. She makes a move here, everything's still rosy, and then they're going too steady. All these blokes takes off. Yeah, they didn't sort of judge the speed of the race. Everyone made a move, then want to put the brakes on, make a move, put the brakes on, and here she is here. Now, then she gets off the bit here, and you think, she's gone. At that stage, you
should have backed another dollar. What have we done?
Exactly, and it gets worse. You know, even here, they all get around her. And you'd swear blind she's a beaten horse from that moment. But to think that she picked herself up again, even, you know, another horse gets around her there, and then all of a sudden she sees daylight and she does her thing. She just savages the line. Is she a... I know every time we see the Oaks, they Caulfield Cup, Caulfield Cup, Caulfield Cup, and then, you know, it's ever since ethereal, I suppose. But she might be a 2-miler in time. She could well be a 2-miler. She's a real stayer. Stayer.
And she reacts.
Tart number 7, Chris Waller, Leith Innes.
Yeah, little Glennie No Shoes is threatening to beat the bookie with this all morning. It'll be interesting to see if he goes to the line with her. Look, she hasn't won in a year, but I think she should put paid to this lot on the soft.
Yeah, she just...
I'd have to say, so you'd have to put her at the top of the list going on that last performance. 7-2-3-4, Gallic Chieftain, good class start.
Surely just give them another 5 cents before they go. Egg Tart, no, still there, $2.30. $5 Gallic Chieftain and Mega Blast. He's been a very, very good trip.
And the field right to go for the Group 2 O'Shea. Red light. Racing now. Egg Tart has come out second last. Gallic Chieftain going back. Man of His Word was away well. Caravelli likewise. Tradesman going forward. Kaharo revved up by Chessie to go forward out very wide. And the grey Mega Blast comes over as well. Egg Tart is last with a lap to run here. So Kaharo's in front from out wide. Mega Blast going up in the second. Caravelli third. Tradesman fourth. I like the speed. And 2.5 lengths away to Man of His Word. So again, Mega Blast just in front. From Smart As You Think on the outside. 3 lengths away, third, Kaharo, Caravelli. 1.5 lengths to Tradesman, Gallic Chieftain. Egg Tart to the second last on the outside. She's probably 9 lengths off the leader. And 3 lengths away to Man of His Word, last of all. So Mega Blast in front from Smart As You Think. Kaharo's third, about 3 lengths away. 1.5 lengths, Caravelli over on the inside. Egg Tart is out 3 wide. She's still got probably 7 lengths to make up. She's past Tradesman. Man of His Word, second last. Gallic Chieftain now last at the 400. On the inside, outside, Mega Blast just in front. From on the outside, Smart As You Think. Egg Tartar's going to third. She's running on strongly. They're clear then. From on the outside, Tradesman. It's Mega Blast, Smart As You Think, claimed now by Egg Tartar, and shortly afterward, the race favourite Egg Tartar's burst clear. 2 lengths in front from Mega Blast. On the outside, Tradesman. Smart As You Think, but it's all Egg Tart. And Egg Tartar's going to win by 3 lengths on the line. It's a photo second between Mega Blast and Tradesman, followed by Smart As You Think, Gallic Chieftain, Kaharo Caravalli, and Man of His Word last of all.
All right, must be Christmas. You keep taking them on, we'll keep backing them, Munsey. Egg Tart won as easy as you like. It's 12 months almost to the day when she won her last race, the Queensland Oaks, and she wins an O'Shea, beats Tradesman, just gets up in the nick of time to beat the grey Mega Blast, and then Smart.
Remember back to the 3-year-old days when she won 4 in a row, and she's been a star, and all autumn runs were terrific. She put the writing on the wall last start in the Doomben Cup, and a very easy...
This day in the Queensland Oaks at Doomben. So she comes to the Sunshine Coast, and the bookies took her on at their peril.
Yeah, and there was no reason to take her on. You know, she had not competed at this level in 12 months. She'd been at the top level, the high grade, the Group 1s, all of them, the Doncasters, the Doomben Cups, and this was just her race to lose, but she was never going to lose it. She found her preferred going. She found hardly a weight for age performer other than herself in the race, and she'd really bounced back quite nicely in the Doomben Cup. So there was no reason to take her on, and she won with such authority there. She just left them standing. So, look, Tradesman's run quite a nice race, probably suited coming back to a handicap. Mega Blast similar. He's not a weight for age horse, but he chipped away. There might be something for him if he finds a wet track over the next 3 or 4 weeks in Queensland. And that filly, Smart As You Think, she had to make an early move there, and she sort of stuck on okay there at the finish.
Yeah.
Number 3 on the card is the Queensland Guineas, and the 3-year-olds chasing Group 2 glory here for $350,000. And you're with Blake Shin, Chris Waller, Seaway off a second with a big weight at Rose Hill last time.
Yeah, the big 60.5 kilos. Ran a very brave race, ran second, but yeah, it's been first or second.
Hits the button now, they're racing, and Vanish down on the inside, Seaway, Femme Fireball, Sambro all began well. Caristo's going forward, and Vontaine comes over as well. Peaceful State's over on the inside of Snapchat Girl. Mashani Bullets out very wide. Magnified a third last. On the outside of Destiny's Hero, and the Simulate's gone back to last of all. So Vontaine, the fillies in front for Young Abdullah by a length and a half from Caristo. Going to third is Mashani Bullet on the outside. A length and a half to Sambro, followed by Femme Fireball. Seaway next to the inside there is Banish out 3 wide. Peaceful State from Magnified to Destiny's Hero. Snapchat Girl and a Simulators 3 wide, and last of all Vontaine the inside of Mashani Bullet. Mashani Bullet's Piper Bibby in front there, 2.5 lengths clear from Caristo third, Sambro fourth, and fifth the outside Seaway. Next there is Femme Fireball, followed by Banish and Magnified. But Mashani Bullet's gone for home in the Queensland Guineas. Kick 2.5 lengths in front. Quickly Sambro goes into second, passing Caristo. Seaway runs home down the outside. It's Sambro on the outside, and also Mashani Bullet from Seaway. Sambro's in front from Seaway. Sambro's in front. Seaway tries. Sambro holds on though, and Sambro defeats Seaway. Magnified a late grabs third, ahead of Caristo and also Banish, followed by Destiny's Hero. Mashani Bullet shot clear early in the straight, got run down. Next time a Simulate, followed by Peaceful State. Femme Fireball. Hitting the brick wall was Vontaine, and Snapchat Girl about the last one.
Sambro, he was scratched before the start in the Fred Best, and he didn't compete in that race. He was on his best behaviour today, Sambro, and Waller goes 1-2 with Seaway running second, and
injured Kerry McAvoy's hand and had to be scratched. So that was a couple of weeks ago. Ready to go now, and here he is, Sambro winning the Guineas.
Yeah, he's a horse that is a lot better horse than his 2 out of 15 prior to this race. He was gelded this preparation. He's had 3 runs. He should have won the Carbine Club, I thought. Went on to win the Guineas. He had that hiccup in the lead-up, so he was a break between runs coming into this race, so you would have thought a run short, but he put his form on the table this preparation, and he could easily go on with it in the spring and maybe even in the Guineas at the Sunshine Coast if they head there. But I think his main opposition could come from the second horse here, Seaway, who's a really nice horse who, if he goes that way, that bigger track will suit him there as well. There was...
So Acclaimed first, $3.60 is the favourite, $4 Gold Runner. Interesting. Galloper coming from the Barry Ratcliffe.
Well, I don't have much to add to that because I have exactly the same numbers. I thought Kilwa was very, very good when he got out, and as you said, that small field to suit here. But I'm really wary of Sedanza, even though she hasn't got that wet track form. We saw that horse win the first race.
Good line, gates open racing, and Sedanza down on the inside away well. My Diamond Team's going forward, Naval Warfare likewise. Kawai's 4th and 5th is the Wildflower. 6th is Ambitious, 7th out very wide is Anton on Avant, and Nozomi's gone straight back to last of all. So it's My Diamond Team joined now, headed by Naval Warfare on the outside. Handy there is Sedanza over on the rails. Kawai 4th out 3 and 4 wide early doors there. Nozomi's over on the inside. Ambitious creeping forward, just goes to 4. So Kawai's back to 5th out 3 wide. The Wildflower's racing between horses. Nozomi's over on the inside, and Anton on Avant a length and a half away. So Naval Warfare for Michael Walker there by the Wildflower. And Kawai still last of all, about 7 lengths off Naval Warfare, who's really come back to them. Only about a length and a half in front now from My Diamond Team. Ambitious out very wide. Sedanza over on the inside. Nozomi, Anton on Avant, flashing out the Wildflower, who's out very wide. And Kawai is going to swing in last, but no more than 3 to 4 lengths off them. On the inside, Naval Warfare claimed by Sedanza out 3 wide. The favourite's gone to the front. My Diamond Team between them. Ambitious on the outside for Anton on Avant, but Sedanza shot clear on the Brisbane Cup. It's 4 lengths in front. Anton on Avant runs to second. Kawai's weaving through. Ambitious whacks away on the outside, but it's all Sedanza with 100 metres left to go. 3 lengths in front from Anton on Avant, who's running a wonderful race. Kawai holds down third, but Sedanza's all too good. 1 at 2 lengths to Anton on Avant and Kawai. 4th Ambitious, followed by Nozomi and the Wildflower. My Diamond Team ran second last, and Naval Warfare dropped out to finish at the back of the field.
Sedanza number 5 for Gay Waterhouse and Adrian Bott and Tim Clark take out the Brisbane Cup, $2.60 and $1.60. The roughie, Anton on Avant, it was 150 to 1 when he won last start, has run right up to that form to run second, and Kawaya back in 3rd spot in front of Ambitious in 4th.
She's a good mare. She's nothing to look at, and there was worrying signs after her first up run, and then she's just found her form again. She had 3rd up to 2,200 last time, and that really toughened her up for this Brisbane Cup, and a total domination. I thought the question mark is, what do they do with her now? Do they put her out and treat her as a spring prospect? I'd say they'd just about have to. She was very, very good. She's tough. She can stick on a little bit, and I think there's still some upside to come from her in the spring. Anton on Avant was wow. I thought it was a dead set fluke when he won at 150 to 1 last start, but he stamped himself. That was no fluke there yesterday. I thought Michael D lost the plot on Kawaya. You know, he was going to slot him 1 out, 1 back. He was 1.5 off the rail, and all of a sudden there was 3 horses up underneath him there, and he had to drag back to last. I don't think he would have won anyway, but he would have run a clear second. But all honours with the winner. She's a beauty, an absolute beauty.
She was brilliant there, and that's what happened.
Ambitious maybe he's a dry tracker, I'd suggest. There was a theory going around before the race that they were worried about him handling wet, and I think that was proven there. The market was soft, and he didn't seem to handle it at all.
Timmy Clark. Back 440, 480, back to 460, back to 480 for Champagne Cuddles. Impending, the defending champ, 650 and solid. Parast is 8, 850 back to 8. Sandarana Lane, the Goodwood winner, is $11 into $10. Shillelagh is $13 out to $14. Rassel Selection is the top pick on the fixed at $4.80, $6 impending, and Parast is next in line at $8. Quinny, what's the market tell you from Tab?
Champagne Champagne Cuddles is the favourite. Has been a little bit soft today, 390 out to 5. The defending champion Impending has been well backed late, 650 into 550. Parasta's been popular over the last fortnight, 11 into 8. Santa Ana Lane, 13 into 10, back to 11 today. Then we have Care to Think, who's been soft today, 11 out.
Cuddles, 3-year-old meeting Brass.
Yeah, it's a major point, isn't it? That weight turnaround, she was only a length off him.
Sets racing in the Stradbroke, Endless Drama out wide, Burning Passion both began well. Champagne Cuddles, the Monstar, Parast, and most important, all going forward as well. Voodoo Lad is next, Super Cash improving, followed by Crack Me Up, Santa Ana Lane Impending, Shillelagh's over on the inside, and Care to Think is next. Invincible Gems out very wide, second last is Spieth over on the inside, and it's towards the back of the field, probably 9 to 10 lengths off the speed, and Fox plays last on the outside. Parast, the 3-year-old Colts in front from Endless Drama, the Monstar third, fourth is Champagne Cuddles, fifth is Super Cash out 3 wide, most important Santa Ana Lane, followed there by Voodoo Lad. Crack Me Up is over on the inside, and then Shillelagh followed by Burning Passion. Care to Think towards the back of the field, a length and a half to Invincible Gems, second last Spieth, and Fox Players last of all. Impending is back on the ruck, he's about 8th at the 425 on the inside. Parast just in front, Endless Drama, Super Cash going to third, Champagne Cuddles looking for the way clear, Santa Ana Lane is over on the inside, and Crack Me Up down the outside. Parast, Endless Drama, Champagne Cuddles, the inside, Santa Ana Lane coming through. Santa Ana Lane's hit the front from Parast, Champagne Cuddles, Super Cash, Crack Me Up. Santa Ana Lane for the Stradbroke. Santa Ana Lane by 2 lengths. Super Cash second, Photo third, Champagne Cuddles prominent. Parast and Crack Me up there, followed by Shillelagh. Impending, most important, followed by Spieth. Invincible Gem, Endless Drama, Fox Play, Care to Think, the Monstar, Burning Passion, and the last one was Voodoo Lad.
Santa Ana Lane is the 2018 UBET Stradbroke Handicap Champion and wins it comfortably by 2 lengths on the line. 2 Super Cash, Champagne Cuddles, then Crack Me Up and Parast, but a Goodwood Group 1, all up a Stradbroke Group 1.
Wow, how well is he going? 2 Group 1s in a row. The barrier made a big difference. As soon as Corey Brown come off the fence, Ben Mellon went right up on the inside there after sitting 3 back on the inside, and this horse relished it with a big sprint, exactly what he did in the Goodwood handicap. So a horse in fine form, putting 2, well, that's his 3rd career Group 1, so he's really come of age, this sprinter. Super Cash has run boldly there, Champagne Cuddles, Parast from the front had his hope, and Crack Me Up was thundering home there late, but all honours with the winner, but he got all the breaks along the inside there, Greg.
He's just gives 110%.
Yeah, he does. He's really come into his own of late, and he's always had the ability, but he's just sort of furnished and matured a little bit, and he's a very good horse now.
And Sam Freedman has been doing a great job with his father's horses up here, and this horse was turned out a treat today.
Yeah, Sam was telling me he was ready to go home, but he'll be able to have a few more beers tonight before he goes.
Well done, Ben.
Thank you.
Well, I've got Sam here with me, and we're just chatting away the first horse to complete the Goodwood Stradbroke double in history.
Yeah, no, look, he's always shown that sort of ability to be able to do that sort of thing, and it's nice to see it sort of come to fruition, and he's showing consistent form now, which he never really has in the past. So.
And you were confident coming out of the Goodwood that you'd press on to get up here, and you knew you'd had the right horse?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, it might sound a little bit arrogant, but we left a little bit in the tank after the Goodwood with the intention to come up here, and he's a well-travelled horse. He settled in very quickly and gave a couple of strong gallops, and we couldn't be happier.
Did you watch it with Dad?
Yeah.
Were you talking through the race?
No, look, I'd like to leave him alone. He can get a little bit frustrated throughout the run, so I just sort of left him on his own.
You know him best.
Yeah.
All right, well, Santa. It really is amazing to think that that's the first horse to do the Goodwood Stradbroke double. How hard it has been to try. Under the Louvre and Blackheart Bart ran the Quinella in the Goodwood, and they reversed their placings in the Stradbroke. But that was the first, Santa Ana Lane.
Yeah, and obviously we've got to take a lot more notice of this Goodwood from now on, because the second field mare come out of that race as well, Super Cash. That form has been franked, and maybe we underestimate that Goodwood form coming into the Stradbroke, because it's a proven form line, and that was so soft. I know I'd always had little queries on him right tired at 1,400 metres here, but look at this ride here. He just goes bang. I'll have Champagne Cuddles as back here, and that was it. When Corey come off the fence on the home turn there, up the inside went Mellum, and it was everything was just absolutely picture perfect for the horse. The way the race unfolded, the way that the tempo in which the race was run, it was just a dead set 10 out of 10. Super Cash was pretty good there. Champagne Cuddles, she was a certainty in the run. She travelled sweetly and she peeled out at the right time, and she just, I think Corey said, her wheels were just spinning in that track. So I don't think he was quite comfortable with the way she let down once he let her down, Burn.
Yeah, and I think it was just purely a case too that they rode this horse, Santa Ana Lane, to the track. They wanted to be closer. They drew barrier 3. They said, let's put him in a winnable position. And when he got onto the back of Champagne Cuddles, he must have been giggling. They fan. He doesn't go around a horse, and he's twice previous to this a Group 1 winner, and he just presents at exactly the right time. I think Impending, Damien Brown said he was just spinning in the ground as well. So
his quote was, never went a yard.
Yeah, never went a yard.
So obviously we were working with a different track than it was a fortnight ago.
Yeah, it was just a genuine wet track, and you either handle it or you don't, and he thrived in it.
We'll get to the beaten jockeys and what they had to say.
Or early winter.
Anthony Freedman has won 6 Group 1s this season, 3 with Shoals, 3 with Santa Ana Lane.
Incredible of achievement. I know it's only with 2 horses, but they've been placing their horses well, and their horses are racing well, and they've had an unbelievable season, and now he's young blokes with him, and he's maturing up, and he's seen a jockey.
Is there a chance Anthony Freedman could have 2 runners in an Everest? I mean, Shoals is certainly being looked at by slot holders, and Santa Ana Lane, are they going to jump in now, or are they just going to wait a little while? But
they're part of the game, that's for sure.
And you cannot ignore the Group 1 form that they've got around them.
He's $35 Santa Ana Lane for an Everest. We're looking at Trapeze Artist, who has a slot. Now, where's Shoals? $26. So Shoals 26, Santa Ana Lane 35. But Shoals would firm up if she got a slot tomorrow.
Yeah. Whatever gets a slot will firm.
Jamie Cass, Super Cash. Yeah, really happy with her.
Sharing it, but now we've got a dead heat for second after the running of race number 6. All right, the second of our Group 1s is next, 3.5 minutes away from the JJ Adkins Plate over the mile for the 2-year-olds. And on track, the Autumn Sun is going for a bit of a drift, as Quinny suggested. It was easy on tab as well. 2:45 out to 3:30 on the QOP. Fundamentalist 5 into 480 back to 5, and then Lean Mean Machine, stablemate of the Autumn Sun, 6:50 out to 7. Another stablemate has been best back for Chris Waller, Zusane for James McDonald. 9
right to go. Gates open, racing now, and down on the inside, Sizzling Ace, Plumaro both began well. Grim Reaper, Boom Sarah both going forward, and Home Ground revved up to come over with also Champagne Garden. Fundamentalist is handy. Zusane's going forward out very wide. The Autumn Sun's only got probably 5 or 6 behind it early. Very wide there is Homemade. Just in behind those Pepe La Few. Massara's over on the inside. Second last, Lean Mean Machine. Last of all is Caesar. So Boom Sarah, Lean Mean Machine, second last and wide. A length and a half to Homemade last of all. So Boom Sarah went by the 800 metres mark. Half a length in front from Home Ground. Champagne Garden going to third. Fourth there is Grim Reaper. Fifth is Fundamentalist. And sixth is Zusane out 3 wide with some cover. Just in behind those, Sizzling Ace over on the inside from Plumaro. The Autumn Sun, Miss Sarah followed there by just in behind those Pepe La Few. Lean Mean Machine, Caesar second last, and Homemade 2.5 lengths away at the 350 in front. Boom Sarah 2.5 lengths clear. Grim Reaper on the inside coming quickly going into second. Also Zusane down the outside. The Autumn Sun down the outside as well, and also Fundamentalist coming through. Fundamentalist, Zusane, the Autumn Sun and Zusane. Zusane the inside, the Autumn Sun. The Autumn Sun stretches and wins. The Autumn Sun ahead to Zusane. Photo third, Fundamentalist and Caesar, followed by Grim Reaper, Plumaro. Next in was Home Ground, Miss Sarah, Boom Sarah, Sizzling Ace, Pepe La Few, Champagne Garden, Homemade, and the last one, Lean Mean Machine.
Well, what have we unearthed here? Unbeaten. 3 starts, 3 wins, and at its 3rd start, the Autumn Sun gets a Group 1 on the board, beats Zusain, Awalla Quinella, and Fundamentalist in 3rd spot in front of Caesar. What are we talking about here?
We're talking about something that could be something very, very special. He's unbeaten, he's still raw, and they didn't actually go overboard up front. He had a lot of work to do, and he dug in, and I'll be interested to see what Karen has to report about him, because he runs down a good colt in his own right in Zusain. Look, it's
what a great finish. Yeah, he uses quality. The exciting thing is, Sammy, he's nowhere near the ceiling yet. He's on the improve. Thanks, brother. You know, as I said, he uses quality, and he came here today and away from home, hasn't turned a hair. He handled himself fantastic.
But when you look at him in the yard, you just look at him like he just needs a bit of time, and he's still going to furnish again, so it could be anything.
Yeah, exactly. He's, as you said, he's probably growing still and rounding up, but he moves lovely. He's got a lovely action, and going to the start, I was confident he was going to handle the ground. He didn't travel great throughout the race, but I was confident he was going to pick up, and pick up he did. He was always getting there, but he was always going to win at the furlong, you know. Well done.
He looked the goods in a couple of Sydney runs, so it's his first trip away, his first taste of a wet track. He gets to a mile, but still puts them away, and puts them away with style. He just looks a horse that's all quality, weight for age class in time. There's no doubt about it. He could well be a special horse come the spring, and I can't see anything bar him growing into himself and being even, a lengths better horse. Zeus Star was fantastic, ridden a bit quieter off the speed there yesterday. What else do we want to say here? Look, the more I look at this race, this horse out wide, Cesar, it was an unbelievable performance there. His effort was great. He might be a nice stayer for the spring in his own right.
Well, I think his run was as good as everybody else's. You know, when they jumped out of the barriers, Zusain just flattened him, and it put him back 2 lengths from the start, so then he had to go right back to last and give away many, many lengths. So for him to be able to eat up the ground the way he did. On the flip side of that, those other 2 boys, the Waller boys, sat 3 deep the trip, so he didn't have to do that, but he still was able to make up a massive amount of great ground laid, so I think he's exciting for the team going forward.
They put plenty of money on Fundamentalist, the 3rd horse there. He ran well, but he just ran into 2 hot horses, I think. Yeah. So he raced well, but not in the same class as the first 2, who could really, he looks a Caulfield Guineas prospect, doesn't he, the winner? He'd have to be. And who knows where the second horse can go.
Well, and also with Karen McAvoy as well.
Well done, Chris. You've used Queensland to unearth a lot of stars. Are we looking at another one here?
Yeah, for sure. It's a great place for horses that are just coming through, and it's all about just gradually getting them up to this Group 1 level, and then they seem to springboard off it and catch up with the the Melbourne and Sydney horses, or horses from around Australia and New Zealand in the spring with confidence.
Was this a case of you knew what you had with this horse, you just wanted to see what he could do today?
Yeah, basically, and the trip away's a hard thing to explain, but it really does make a horse, and just seeing them come up here, relax, enjoy themselves, not be under pressure. I took particular interest prior to the race, how they were.
You'll look at the Caulfield Guineas. Does he look that type?
Yeah, he does to me. I'd say a lot of good judges would agree. Just as long, big action, as great attitude. It really is a bright future ahead. And Zusain, he's probably more the Zeus Star mould. He'll come back and trip. He'll be our Golden Rose horse in the spring.
He uses quality,
Chris Waller's best Queensland carnival ever. 3 Group 1 Quinellas. He's Quinellaed the Doomben Cup, the Oaks, the JJ Atkins, and he also Quinellaed the Group 2 size.
And he's going to go into the Tats Tiara pretty strong as well. With a handful of runners, I'd suggest.
OK,
Channel 7 Queensland Derby, Group 1 2200, and we start with Dark Dream for Kerry Parker and Tim Clark.
Yeah, geez, I think he's going to bounce back here today. He was just, a little bit, did a few things wrong in the lead up there. He wanted to over race and and pull a little.
And 160 for Chantilly Chateau, and Maddie McGarren wins. Comes the third and final Group 1. We're racing for $600,000. The 3-year-olds in the Queensland Derby over the 2,200 metres, and Dark Dream for Kerry Parker. He's chasing his first Group 1, $4.40 into $4. Lucky for All, the Tony Brassell pick, $4.60 into $4.40. Live and Free hasn't budged for James McDonald and John O'Shea, who team.
Got Maha Meaties at 21, Merivee at 34, Banner Season at 41, Resilient at 61. All equal favourites again now. Dark Dream and Lucky for All for the Derby here, $4 each of 2 over Live and Free at 6 and Young Star at $6.50. So, you know, the top 5 in the market have been the top 5 all the way through. All the
sets. Racing in the Derby. And 1-1-2, Heavenly Thought both began well. Dark Dream handy early. Captivator Live and Free. Hands In's going forward. Almighty Crown handy as well from Augustus and Banner Season. California Turbo, Turnberry, Maha Medeus, and drifting back as well as Lucky for All on the outside of Merivee. Young Star's gone back to second last on the outside of Resilient, who's last of all. So Captivator and Hands In, the first couple. Hands In going clear. A length and a half away third as 1-1-2 on the outside of Heavenly Thought. Dark Dreams racing between horses without 3 wide there, Live and Free. Augustus over on the inside, followed there by Banner Season, Almighty Crown. Turnberry's out 3 wide, ahead there of California Turbo. Merivee 3 lengths away then to California Turbo, who's over on the inside there of Turnberry. A length and a half to Maha Medeus creeping forward, out 3 wide. Taking off as well now is Lucky for All out very wide. Merivee towards the back of the field over on the inside, Resilience, and Young Star is last of all. So down on the inside, Hands In still just in front from Captivator. Heavenly Thoughts about 2.5 lengths away third. Dark Dreams going forward. It's coming into the race. It goes to third on the outside there. Just in behind those horses, Live and Free, followed there by Augustus making some headway. A length and a half to Banner Season, followed there by Maha Medeus out very wide. Hands In's in front. Dark Dream out very wide. Heavenly Thought over on the inside, and also whacking away as Augustus, but Heavenly Thought shot through. It's gone to the front. Dark Dream's up to second down the outside. Hands In's over on the inside from Augustus. In front is Heavenly Thought. Dark Dream on the outside. Dark Dream going to Heavenly Thought with 100 metres left to go. Dark Dream's in front. Heavenly Thought trying to come back. Dark Dream's in front, and Dark Dream's won an epic derby by a head to Heavenly Thought. Third to Young Star, just out of Augustus, followed by Maha Medeus, Resilient. Next home there was back behind those, Lucky for All, followed by Almighty Crown. Then we had Merivee, followed by Hands In, who tied, Banner Season, Turnberry, Live and Free, Captivator, and the final couple, 1-1-2 and California Turbo.
Kerry Parker take a bow. Tim Clark take another one. Dark Dream, beaten by Heavenly Thought in the Grand Prix, comes back and gets revenge. It was a great race. It lived up to what we were hoping for. And the filly, Young Star, has run on into third spot, just in front of Augustus.
Yeah, well, he really bounced back big time there. Timmy Clark made no mistakes. He got him, give him a rest early. The last half of the race, he got him into the clear. He knows he was on a superior stayer, and he just made that early move. The second horse saved the ground. You would have thought, oh, he's going to pinch it there for a stride or two. But look, just the wet track played right back into that Dark Dream's hands here today. Good luck to them. They've knocked back big offers for this horse, and they get their reward here for being solid with the horse today.
All right, Tim Clark gets a Group 1 on.
You were confident going into this race. You've got a lot of faith in this horse.
Yeah, I only won here 4 weeks back. So I was pretty bullish. I didn't think he'd get beaten. It's a bit of a hiccup last start, but geez, so wrapped for Kerry, his team. First Group 1. He said he kept him a bit fresh the other day, and had to be a bit closer, but he was a bit sluggish early, and he over-raced a little bit early again, but once there was a bit of speed on mid-race, he got into a good rhythm, and the horse in front of me actually ran off, and the seas parted for him, and Darren's horse got all the favours back on the inside and dashed through like it was a winner, but well, bloke just wouldn't be denied, you know. he's so tough and so determined and
a dominant Derby type of horse.
Yeah, from his second start when he ran second at Kembla, that was a run of a pretty talented animal, you know, and I thought, oh, we better look after this fella and aim for somewhere, and it was all coming too soon for him, so I thought, well, we'll aim for Brisbane and, you know, we'll see if we can just get his rating up a bit, give him a break and aim to come up here, and it was nice to see a plan come together.
He seems a bit of a very aggressive type.
And we'll talk about his road to the Derby in a moment, because it wasn't all smooth sailing.
No, but it was a lovely ride yesterday. He just rested him. He's the type of horse you wouldn't want to, well, personally, I don't think you'd want him to ride the perfect race on him. Timmy gave him a rest. He got him off the fence early, then he gave him a rest, one out off the rail there, and then from the second half of the race he thought, oh, I don't want to get caught with the wave when the wave of horses come around them, and he was the first to make a move, and this horse is tough enough to do that. And when he sort of did leave the fence and Heavenly Thought got up inside him, I went, oh, and then when he asked him to go, he really dug in like a really nice horse that he is. I really think that the more jar out of the track helped him yesterday, because that's where he set up his form for the Derby, just when the jar was out 2 starts back, and obviously there was nothing wrong with his run 2 starts back as well. He was just he looked a little fresh there to me. What about this filly? Young Star. What a performance that was. She couldn't have shot her with a gun there early on.
It was extraordinary.
Yeah,
absolutely extraordinary to think that, you know, and not only was she back, but she was under the bat 600 from home. So you thought, how does she rally and finish in the placings in the end?
She was almost the talk of the track yesterday. Yeah. After that performance in running third.
But that's a horrible racing pattern, especially as you get up into the big league, which she'll have to as a 4-year-old, and it's hard. From 3 to 4 is a hard year at the top, so your Caulfield Cups. I would be treating her like a Melbourne Cup horse more so than a Caulfield Cup horse, because she hasn't got the acceleration that you might need to win a Caulfield Cup. But I'll tell you something, she looks a 2-miler. I know we can get carried away with 3-year-old stayers, but she will stay.
Kerry, tell us about the difficulty you had getting this horse to the Derby. He was confident, Timmy. He was confident. And he was never disappointed after his last start.
No, you couldn't. I wasn't disappointed either watching it, you know. Like, I thought it was a terrific...
Well, mounting yard time for the Tats Tiara. Ronnie Quinton's here with Daisy Doom. She ready to go, Ronnie?
Just cruise. I don't mind the barrier with her. She'll just cruise across with the tempo of the race and be in a lovely on-pace position here.
Yeah, that's right. She'll be a different horse too, temperament-wise. She was hot and fussy and all over the shot here the other day.
Who was in front of it early on has finished back with it.
9-1. Here's the big Group 1 of the afternoon. We're racing for $500,000 and first pocket's a cool 305 grand. And Mr. Paul Joyce, this is a really good race. You can find a case for 3/4 of the field.
You sure could, Marto. What a great Group 1 to round out the racing season. And look, punters are going to love this. You can get your Quinella trifecta first 4. If you find the winner, you've got a good result. So it's one of those races you just can't help but get involved. Look, I've gone 16, 9, 4, 15. Moss Trip on top. She came up with this horror gate there.
Padina pair. Padrina's at 23. They don't stop there. Miss Rock's at 26. $34 and longer the rest. But Prompt Response will run the clear favourite here. In fact, Firms Sing in the Sky Racing. Tattersalls Tiara. Siren Series missed the start. Prompt Response and Champagne Cuddles the first 2 early. Going to third is Just Dreaming. Also Super Cash and Miss Wilson going forward. Handy to Savannah and more. Daisy Doom's out very wide from French Emotion. Invincible Gem Padrina. Invincibella. Volpe Veloce, Miss Rock, Moss Trip, second last the inside, Shillelagh, a length and a halfway last of all, Sirens Fury. So Just Dreaming on the outside of Prompt Response, the first couple. Going to third and fourth as Daisy Doom out very wide, passing Super Cash, Champagne Cuddle, Savannah and more. Just in behind those horses, Miss Wilson, Invincible Gem down the side, followed by French Emotion over on the inside, Volpe Veloce. Moss Trip is over on the inside there as they swing down the side. Padrina is a long way back, Invincible Bella's out very wide as well down the side. Shillelagh is second last and Sirens Fury is about 3 lengths away at the 375 and Daisy
Daisy Doom's in front from Prompt Response. Just Dreaming, Super Cash on the outside. Savannah Moore back near at the inside, but Prompt Response a dash clear. About 3 lengths in front from Super Cash, Savannah Moore, Daisy Doom and Invincible Gem. Prompt Response in front with 100 metres left to go from Super Cash, Savannah Moore. Prompt Response in front, and Prompt Response has won the tiara by a length and a quarter. Look at Shillelagh jumping up out of the ground. I reckon it's grabbed second in photos ahead of Super Cash, Savannah Moore. Stand by for the minors from the judge though. Next in Daisy Doom, Invincibella, Sirens Fury, Moss Trek, Volpe Veloce, Just Dreaming, Invincible Gem, Champagne Cuddles, French Emotion, Padrina. Second last in there was Miss Wilson, and Miss Rock was last of all.
Prompt Response, number 4, wins the Sky Racing Tats Tiara, 390 and 190. It gives Gay and Adrian their 3rd Group 1 of the season. It gives Blake Shin his 5th Group 1 for the season, 2017-18. Shillelagh will run second in front of Super Cash. It'll be 4.65.
Yeah, she's been Miss Consistency the whole preparation. She's been competitive in everything she's running, and she gets her just desserts today.
They don't give them away, do they?
No, they certainly don't. As she's probably testament throughout her career, she's found it difficult to get that Group 1, but she's been the most consistent mare throughout her career. Right from her very first start as a 2-year-old, she's been in top class races, and now I think she's in career best form. She's through the autumn, I think.
Daisy Doom outside, it's Super Cash wide, and there's Shillelagh back in the field who rushes late.
Yeah, she does. But Prompt Response, she'd come through a brilliant autumn. She ran second in this race last year. She was a bit fresh and a bit fat here the other day in her lead-up run, but she definitely put the riding on the wall. Back to Weight for Age this weekend. It looked a great race, and it must be a great feeling when you're on the bomb coming to the turn, and she can just give such a strong kick off the turn. That's just really where she beat them, right here, where it gives her a dig, and she really rails like a greyhound and accelerates.
And you pointed out last start that there was going to be improvement to come. Adrian Bott told you in a pre-race interview last start this mare will come on with this run.
He did. He said she'd need the run, and obviously she had the big weight last time out as well. I think there was a set weight and penalties race, so she carried more. She made a lot of them better off. Horses like Invincibella that she beat last time, she made a couple of kilos or 3 kilos better at the weights yesterday. But yeah, he did say that, and this was their, the eye of the tiger for them that they'd pinned, and to get that Group 1 on the board obviously makes it really, really valuable. And I thought it was interesting that he said we're going to train her as a 6-furlong horse now and try and get a slot in the Everest.
That's what he wants. I mean, any horse that wins a decent sprint race in Australia, the big E word is mentioned.
Yeah, look, we'll see if she gets a spot, but geez, she's one thing she's a class mare, and she's had a fantastic season in everything she's contested. I think she won the Emancipation Group 2, and she's been just snapping at their heels there in those Group 1s.
She has.
And she's got such a lovely racing style, and Blake read the play pretty well yesterday. He drove her out. He knew he was on a typical Waterhouse bot, hard, fit horse, and it was all over once they straightened and she dashed, wasn't it? It was a terrific performance.
It was.
Shillelagh was great, considering they did slow up mid-stages, made it hard for the back markers when they stack up at the side here and they all get on each other's heels. Well,
they were 4 abreast there at one stage going into the half mile till Daisy Doom took the front, and then you said Daisy Doom won't go to the fence. You were really confident about that.
Well, I remember Andrew Atkins telling me the day she was beaten at Rose Hill that she just doesn't like being on the fence with something on her outside. She is much more responsive when she sits outside the leader.
Yeah.
So he didn't cross.
Yeah,
but anyway,
barriers were important.
Nature Strip yesterday, didn't this horse bounce back?
He's always been an X-factor horse, and we're still waiting for him to tick off that 1200-metre box. But this is a pretty good win. Look, this track was in the soft range yesterday. It's an 1100-metre race, obviously down the straight. He travelled, he pricked his ears, he cruised in the run, and look at him sprint home here. He's 0.11 outside the course record at Flemington on a winter track. You've got to stand up and take notice of this horse. He's always had that big boom on him, and obviously we're just waiting him. If he wins a 1200-metre race, I must say he'd have to get a slot. He'd have to get a slot.
Wonder who.
Someone will like that horse, and you can see why. He can run time, but obviously we've got to be a little bit careful as far as, is he just 1,000, 1,100 metre horse? But you see wins like that and you say, well, why would he have a problem with 1,200 metres? So, yeah, I'd be interested to see if Darren wants to show him up at a 1,200 metre race and just to say, here he is, here's your product, who wants him?
Well, first start for Darren Weir. Let's get his thoughts.
Oh, we're building up here to the big race, the Group 1 Diamond Jubilee. Harry Angel $4, Red Kirk Warrior $4, $4.20 Merchant Navy, and a late rally on the Tin Man down to $7. The good news is we've got the best in the business as far as mounting yard coverage is.
Harry Angel is a really impressive looking.
Cheer on the Australians. Certainly counting Merchant Navy still as an Australian. He's only had the one run for Aidan O'Brien. We've got Red Kirk Warrior, of course, for Hayes and Dabenig, and we really do wish them all the best. We've had some great...
Harry Angel just bumped the stalls, but he's gone in, and Sir Dancelot making up the line. And getting excited in the gate, Harry Angel panicking a bit. Anxious moments for Adam Kirby on Harry Angel, and he's missed the kick badly. Harry Angel upset in the gate and has surely lost all chance. Out very fast like a bullet from a gun is Bound for Nowhere, who's clear on the far side from Red Kirk Warrior. Spirit of Valour burning down the near side of the field, chased hard by Merchant Navy, and they're followed by Dubai further back, and on terms is Intelligence Cross as well, right alongside Spirit of Valour, leaving Bound for Nowhere rather isolated now out in the centre of the track. Chasing the leaders is Projection in the white jacket, the Tin Man, and then on the left in a white cap is Dubai. Harry Angel is trying to make up the ground. They're followed by City Light for France and Sir Dancelot, and the Grey Labrisa Breeze at the tail of the field. Bound for Nowhere now edging left-handed and joins the rest of the field, but he's hanging badly alongside Spirit of Valour in the white cap. Merchant Navy tries to come on. They're followed by Projection, Dubai, then City Light. Red Kirk Warrior can't do it. Then the Tin Man and Sir Dancelot. They're inside the final furlong. Bound for Nowhere is hanging into Merchant Navy, but Merchant Navy beginning to get up. City Light with a late run for France. Merchant Navy on the near side of City Light. They race up towards the line. Merchant Navy, City Light on the far side, may just have got it. City Light, Merchant Navy in a photo. Merchant Navy on the near side, City Light far side. Then Bound for Nowhere, Projection on the far side, and the Tin Man close up.
Drama from the start, drama inside the final couple of furlongs, and drama at the finish. You had it all. Goodness me, I think City Light may have got up on the far side. Look at this, Harry Angel getting worked up in the stalls before the race, and Adam Kirby looking back to see if everything was still there. He completely fluffed the start. Then we get into the closing stages. Bound for Nowhere hanging in to Merchant Navy when he's come to win the race. He eventually gets free from him, and then City Light starts to come. Who's got it? Oh, I tell you what, that is tight, isn't it? On the near side, Merchant Navy's got his head back down. City Light, Merchant Navy, that could go either way. All of a sudden, the cameraman is focusing in on the Australian. City Light got the perfect run. He has been such... Applause is going to Merchant Navy, and I think Merchant Navy has got this. Yes, on the evidence of that, it does look like Merchant Navy on the near side has got it from City Light. He would have been such an unlucky winner if he had not got this race, having been hampered by Bound for Nowhere inside the final. Drama. But it's the Australian Merchant Navy, and we must take a moment here as well to pay tribute to his previous trainer, Kieran Maher and Aaron Purcell, because they did such a marvellous job with this horse here in Australia. He's obviously gone onto the job to find out what went wrong there, but just focusing, when they went past the line, I really did think the far side had got it. There's our colleague Ben Way, Merchant Navy. And absolutely brilliant, wasn't it, Ben? And Merchant Navy.
Taken out by Merchant Navy. There was awful dramas at the start. Harry Angel, who had the barrier blanket on, we're going to show you some footage of the start after we show you the whole race. Harry Angel lashed out at the start. The barrier blanket seemed to get tangled behind, and Harry Angel, what looked to be denied a fair start, was declared a runner, and the runner-up City Light also missed the start hopelessly, and only only goes down narrowly. So let's go back and watch the Diamond Jubilee, and it was a win for the Australian Merchant Navy, trained by Aidan O'Brien and ridden by Ryan Moore.
One in for the Diamond Jubilee Stakes.
A narrow margin. Now, remarkably, Harry Angel was declared a runner. I doubt whether that... They should have pulled that horse out and started again, but the starter just... I don't know whether he had any idea what was going on.
No, because he's like that rear end vision. That, you know, he got his back leg over the back, or something happened, and they're trying to put the barrier blanket on him here. He gets his back legs up there. Yeah,
definitely. It looks like he gets hooked up there.
He's hooked up there. So Doyle, is it Doyle on him? He's not even ready, or Buick. But he's got his irons, and all of a sudden they.
No. Adam Kirby, the jockey.
Sorry, Kirby. But
not ready.
He's hardly
ready.
He's hardly ready.
But how do they know he hasn't hurt his leg?
And they've jumped.
Look, his back leg's still up.
His back leg is up.
Yeah,
so,
how's that not declared a non-runner?
Obviously,
his back leg's still up in the petition.
We'd have to have a look at the rules of UK racing, but quite clearly,
that explains it all.
If that was in Australia, and the starter let them go like that, that horse would be a non-runner.
Denied a fair start.
Yes.
All those people standing by.
They spoke with Aidan.
Yeah, no, delighted. Yeah, he's a lovely horse to have. He improved lovely from the Curragh. Kieran told us everything about him down in Australia. We thought with the 12 pounds turnaround, it was a very difficult task. Like, obviously he's been treated like a 4-year-old here, but he's a very natural horse, a very good mover, a great mind. He has all the attributes of a very good horse, so I'm privileged to have him, really. I think the plan was that he would come here, and then he had stallion commitments in Australia, so I wasn't told that he would go to the July Cup before now, so I'm not sure that plan will change, but I knew we felt that we only had him for Ascot. That's why we wanted to run into him at the Curragh, just to find out a little bit about him, because we knew that we wouldn't have much time to work in between then, and so I'm not really sure, but it would be great.
I know we're a good few Australian Spring Carnival, both in Sydney and in Melbourne, but is there any plans to maybe have horses earmarked for the Everest?
And Merchant Navy. And a quick comment on Redkirk Warrior. Well, there's not much to talk about. He was just disappointing. He didn't fire.
Simple. He didn't fire at all, and it was all positive going into the race, but he looked the first horse beaten there at the 300, so unfortunately no luck there. All
right, let's update you on the market for the Everest. Here's how it looks right now, with Trapeze Artist, the favourite, has a slot. Redzell, the second favourite, also with a slot, as is In Her Time. Kementari without a slot. Winks, very unlikely. Brave Smash has a slot. English, they want a slot.
Yep.
Happy Clapper, they want a slot.
Yep.
Thoughts on that page?
Look, that page is just mouth-watering, to tell you the truth, and you can go across here. Scholes has got a spot. Harry Angel won't have a slot after yesterday. Vega Magic I haven't heard of. I can't wait to see Minari in trial, or just show his hand. He's a good horse.
On that page there?
It could go well fresh. Sandorana Lane, they're asking for a slot there.
Sandorana Lane has been the most improved sprinter. He's